19. Samuel Clegg unlocked the door to his bookstore. He seemed to be really excited. "I've got a secret room in the back where I keep all my really sophisticated instruments," he said. We walked past all the black boxes with wires and tubes and dials and switches, and past the shelves of books on mystical subjects to a locked door at the far end of the shop. Samuel Clegg unlocked the door, and we went into the small room. There was not much furniture in the room. A table, 2 or 3 folding chairs. There was something large covered with a sheet. I'll soon know for certain whether you're in a state of 26, Samuel Clegg said. He whisked the sheet off at what turned out to be the largest machine of all. It was painted in bright colors, mainly red. It sort of resembled a big refrigerator with a thing like a barbecue pole coming out the top of it. Written across the front of the refrigerator part of the machine was, "Test your brain power," in bright yellow letters about 6 inches high. The barber pole had a clear glass tube running up the outside. At the bottom it said, "Mental Midget." A little further up it said, "Sorta Stupid." A few inches higher it said, "Just about normal." Above that it said, "Smarty Pants." Then it said, "Professor," then "Wizard," then "Genius," then "Out of this world." Coming out the front of the machine was a pair of heavy wires that were attached to something that looked like a stainless steel bowl that my father made salads in. The bowl had tubes and coils of wires coming out the top. The whole thing had been sprayed with gold paint. "This is the most advanced machine to test brain waves known to man," Samuel Clegg said. "It will take just a few minutes to warm up." Samuel Clegg threw a big switch. The machine hummed. "This looks like one of those gadgets you see at a carnival," Aln Mndlshn said. "I know," Samuel Clegg said. "Isn't that incredible? The world's greatest expert on brainwaves was a Tibetan Lama and a neurosurgeon. When I met him, he was operating an attraction in Atlantic City, New Jersey. He had designed and built this machine. I bought it from him and had it brought here. Out of this world corresponds to state 26. When I put the thought collector helmet on your heads, just do your mind control routine. A colored liquid will rise up in the glass tube. If it gets as high as out of this world, you will be the first humans to produce enough omega waves to be in a state of 26. There was one person who did it while the machine was in Atlantic City, but he turned out to be a proven extraterrestrial." "Can't you produce enough omega waves to be in a state of 26? I asked Samuel Clegg. Sadly, I cannot," Samuel Clegg said. "You see, when I was in the military defending our country, I sustained a serious injury in the line of duty. As a result, I have a silver plate in my head, which creates an electromagnetic anomaly that prevents my participating in omega wave production. I'd appreciate it if this was kept confidential." We promised we would never tell. Samuel Clegg said that the brainwave machine had warmed up enough, and would I be the first to be tested. I let him put the thought collector helmet on my head. He told me to go into the state of 26. I did. The brainwave machine made a whistling sound, and a column of red liquid rose in the tube, past Mental Midget, Sorta Stupid, Just About Normal, Smarty Pants, past Professor, Wizard, and Genius. It stopped just short of out of this world, and sort of bobbed up and down. "Fantastic," Samuel Clegg said. "And do you mean to tell me that you were able to do this just by reading my mind control course and practicing with the omega meter?" We told him we had. "Let's try this helmet on the other gentleman," Samuel Clegg said. He put the helmet onto Aln Mndlshn's head, and the red liquid shot all the way up to the top of the tube, even quicker than it had when I had been tested. "Excuse me," Samuel Clegg said. "I'm a little overwhelmed. You see, this is the greatest moment in the mental history of man. I need to sit down for a minute." Samuel Clegg staggered over to one of the folding chairs and slumped down in it, looking sort of sick. He sat there for a while, shaking his head slowly from side to side. Finally he spoke. "I want to thank you. I want to thank you for making my life worthwhile. You see, I never knew if I was on the right track until now. Now I know that the Clegg mind control not only works, but it is the ultimate development in the history of progress. This is a great moment, but I don't want to forget that you are my clients and that I am here to serve you. Now, what was it you wanted to talk to me about?" We couldn't tell Samuel Clegg that we thought the mind control was boring. Not after his great excitement, not after finding out how important it was to him that we could reach state 26. We couldn't tell him that we wanted our money back. Samuel Kilgarsh was looking at us with a strange expression. It was a little like the way Melvin looks at grandfather, sort of like he expected us to scratch behind his ears or give him a biscuit. He was waiting to hear what it was that we wanted to talk to him about. Aln Mndlshn spoke. We, uh, we, we wanted to know if we could trade our mind control course in Omega Meter for some more advanced course. That was quick thinking. There was no telling if the advanced course would be any better, but at least the boring mind control book and the Omega Meter would be off our hands. Of course you do, Samuel Kilgarsh said. I must have neglected to tell you about Kilgarsh's trade-in policy. You can trade in any course or book you are dissatisfied with, or, in your case, have gone completely beyond for 73% of its current sale price, less a small handling charge, for any selected Kilgarsh project or publication. Of course, you want to trade the Omega Meter. You, gentlemen, are ready for highly advanced work. Maybe we could sort of look around the store and pick out some books worth 73% of $24 minus a small handling charge, Aln Mndlshn said. Oh, no, Samuel Kilgarsh said. These books are not for talented people like you. These books are for the, please pardon the expression, poor schmucks who go through life hoping that something will happen to them, like being able to achieve state of 26 and make people take off their hats and rub their bellies at their command. I wouldn't imagine anyone is going through life hoping to be able to take their hats off or rub their bellies. For people of real psychic prowess like yourselves, only the best, only Samuel Kilgarsh publications and training devices are good enough. I will advise you. Now, what are your interests? Interstellar travel? Forecasting the future? Influencing inanimate objects? Reading the thoughts of others? Communing with a lost civilization of Mu, Atlantis, and Lemuria? That rang a bell. Aln Mndlshn and I both thought of Uncle Boris's magic gem from the Lost Continent. What do you have in the way of lost continents? Aln Mndlshn asked. Lost continents? Certainly, Samuel Kilgarsh said. What you are asking for is a Kilgarsh Mind Control Associates Advanced Course in Hyperstellar Archaeology. This will equip you to find everyday clues to the existence of civilizations no longer with us. Samuel Kilgarsh rummaged around in the back of a drawer in a filing cabinet. He came out with a thick, dusty-looking stack of papers. It was held together with three of those brass fasteners that look like nail, except they are flat. You push them through the paper you want to fasten together, and then the flat part spreads out into two flat parts, and you fold them back, and you've got yourself your papers fastened. Excuse me, there's a misprint, Samuel Kilgarsh said, and he wrote something on the cover of the sheaf of papers. Then he handed it to us. It had said Basic Lessons in Hyperstellar Astrology, but Samuel Kilgarsh had crossed out the word basic and written the word advanced above it, so the cover now read Advanced Lessons in Hyperstellar Archaeology. This normally costs $175, Samuel Kilgarsh said, but since you are my favorite students, and including your mind control course as a trade-in, by the way, I'm allowing you the full price, and we'll forget about the handling charge. This will only come to $18.50. That's less than it cost me to produce. Fair enough?